Hi, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Check out who we got. It's Thomas Lennon. Sir, how are you?
That? How'd you get me?
I mean, you're back from knee surgery.
Because I'm everywhere. I blew out my knee in yoga, hot yoga. Be careful in hot yoga, because here's the thing.
Okay.
You're stretching further than you're maybe capable of. Yeah, that's what I found out.
Yeah, and then if you get some acupuncture on top of that.
That might have been a bad idea.
Probably
usually a great idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I was in real pain the last time I didn't see you.
Well, we're glad you're better.
Thanks, it's nice to be back.
And we're glad that you're an author as well now, so congrats on that.
Here's a crazy thing. For the rest of my life now, I'm a New York Times best-selling author.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I made it to number 2.
Number 2, who was number 1?
That stupid book, Wonder.
Screw Wonder, right?
Hey, you said that. I believe that, but yes.
I'm not going to say it.
I mean, God bless. I'm sure it's a terrific book.
But I'm not going to read it.
I have no time to read stuff like that. Apparently it's real sad.
No,
my book's not sad.
No.
This book's a hoot.
Yeah, tell me about Ronan Boyle, because you've been writing all your life. So how'd you get into this space here?
I've been writing all my life, and I'd wanted to write a novel for probably 25 years. Wow. But most of my life has been screenwriting, you know, the Night at the Museum movies and things like that. So I was waiting for an inspiration of something that I thought could be a whole world of, you know, and maybe a series of books. And I was in Ireland, and I was staying in an old castle, and I looked. There was a shillelagh on the wall, and which is like a club, a fighting club. When Irish people, when metal weapons weren't allowed, that's when shillelaghs got big and strong, and yeah. So I just thought about what if, you know, the shillelagh was like the working weapon of a law enforcement agency. Like what if, and then I thought about leprechauns and cluricauns, and Ireland has so many magical creatures that I thought, what if there's a police force that has to look after them? So that's where the idea for the book came.
And Ireland's not a bad spot to start writing,
It's not a bad spot to start writing. We're great. We have a great tradition. Good gloomy days to sit down and get some writing done.
There you go. So how long did it take you to write the book?
The book, door to door writing the book, probably about 2 years. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Because it comes in
start
fits
it,
and
you stop
starts.
it.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll write tons really fast, and then it's a long time to figure out what happens next sometimes. So all told, probably 2 years.
Well, you're also working a ton too, so fitting in the schedule.
I try to stay busy.
I mean, you've done a lot of different things in your career. You've always bounced around, which I think is cool.
I have a weird resume. I think it's because a lot of the things I do, acting-wise, acting as a job can break your heart. It's tough.
Totally.
Yeah, writing as a job can break your heart. So what I did is diversified into 2 things, both of which can break your heart all the time. So
it can be constant misery
to
or
amp up the
happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take me back to the beginning stages of everything, sketch comedy, you know, the NYU circuit. What do you remember most about those days?
Well, this is really, to me, is fascinating. So I got to New York, it was 1988, to date myself. And the first week at NYU, I met Robert Ben-Garant, Michael Ian Black, Carrie Kenny, who I actually knew from theater camp.
Oh, wow.
Michael Showalter, David Wayne, Ken Marino, Joe Latrulio. So
that's quite a squad there.
That's our squad. But we met the first week of college.
Wow.
And so I've now worked, and Ben-Garant and I now have written probably about 12 movies that have gotten made together. So I've been working with the people I met first week of college for next year it'll be 31 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's been pretty neat. And we still work together a lot. I was in Ken Marino's movie Dog Days last year. I was in David Wayne's movie A Futile and Stupid Gesture. Ben and I write together all the time. You know, and the Reno 911 crew is also part of that crew. So we've really stuck it out together, which is weird.
Yeah.
We fight a lot when we're together. We really
What do you guys fight about?
We fight like a family. Because I've actually spent more time with the state as a comedy crew than my own family.
In your actual family.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just, you know, it's like there's that closeness that you have with a group. We sort of like a band. You know, bands are endlessly breaking up and fighting. Yeah.
But you guys have stayed together all these years.
We still stick it out.
I like it.
We don't do a ton of live shows, but sometimes we do. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how'd you guys come up with the name?
The State?
Yeah.
The reason we came up with the name The State is we had a list of like 200 funny names.
Wow.
For the group.
You guys really went all in on this, a deep dive here.
It was a big, again, we love to fight with each other. So some of the main runners-up were Patricia's Annoying Friends,
Who was Patricia?
I was pushing that name really hard.
That was your number one?
Patricia's Annoying Friends. I thought that was a solid name. There was a Medium Head group.
Okay.
I don't know why that was in the running, but it was in the running for a long time. Ken Marino was really pushing for our comedy group to be called Medium Head Group.
Interesting.
I don't know why. And then there was a lot of terrible names, and then Mike Chan just was looking at a newspaper and said, "The State. We're going to be called The State." And he's a kind of imposing figure. He's 6'4", and he's got a very deep voice. And everybody was like, okay. And I think what was good about calling ourselves The State is it separated us from the groups with silly names.
Sure.
And almost every comedy group
has a silly
name. Yeah.
We had the Super Troopers guys in here, and they're Broken Lizard.
Broken Lizard.
So
I know.
The State
Slightly
sounds a little bit
silly
more
name.
legit,
right?
And it's simple too.
I actually am friends with one of the guys in Broken Lizard, which is
There you go. Yeah, and like having that sketch comedy background, it's just a great foundation going into
what was
this.
great about starting in sketch comedy is, so in the State, we would pitch to each other every single day at 3 o'clock. We'd meet and pitch each other material. And so you'd be sitting in a room with 10 other people, all of whom were competing with you to get their material into the show. So you're pitching every day to people who don't necessarily want to do your script.
Thing. Yeah.
Which is a great practice for the movie business.
It's got to be really, really solid.
Yeah. For the movie business, it was great to just be like, pitch every single day, out loud. And it made us really good at pitching stuff too. And it also toughens you up for when people don't want to do your script.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which happens.
Did people want to do Reno 911 at first?
Reno, curiously, no. So we shot Reno 911. What really happened was we were doing a sketch comedy pilot for Fox. And it was supposed to be on Saturday nights. Presumably, the spot would be Saturday nights after Cops, which was one of their longest running TV shows. We did a table read of all these sketches we had written, and we got canceled at the table read.
Wow.
Yeah. Gail Berman, who was in charge of Fox at the time, we're still friends, but
wasn't feeling it.
She was not feeling it. She was like, "No, I don't want to do this." She's like, "There's no reason to do a sketch comedy show, and you're so mature." I think she said, which meant we were too old for Fox.
Interesting.
I was at the time 28 years old.
Well, they were really trying to go younger at that point.
Keep in mind, yeah. So we'd been basically canceled, but we had the cast. We had Cedric Yarbrough, we had Niecy Nash, we had Carlos Ellis-Rocky, Carrie, Kenny, Ben, me. Wendy came along a little bit later. But so we had this great cast, and we had a crew, and we had a budget left over. And I was like, why don't we just improvise something? Like, what if we just do after Cops, there's just funny cops. So you could watch them like,
back to back.
Pair them together, and I thought it'd be a great idea. And so with zero preparation and no planning, we just got cop outfits. I said, I'm going to wear shorts. I want really small shorts. Everybody just kind of picked names. Was very random.
Interesting.
The only difference is the original premise of Reno 911 was we played everyone. So we would be the cops and the perps.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it was very much just a sketch comedy show. Later on, we phased that out, obviously. Shot it, went great. Like, it was surprisingly funny. We were really pleased with it, and it almost made the schedule at Fox, but did not. Like, it was like a runner-up, and then it sat for 3 years.
Wow.
Untouched, just sat.
And then who finally scooped
and then
it up?
Comedy Central said, "Do you have an idea for a show that would be really inexpensive?"
Like, we've been sitting on one.
Oh, yeah, one. Oh my gosh, it's so cheap.
Put it out right now.
Yeah, just people like kind of wander around and there's a camera. It's verite, so it's cheap. Yeah.
It was hilarious too, and the fact that Fox had it there, missed out on the opportunity. I'm sure they were still kicking themselves.
Curiously, when we made the movie, it was a co-production of Fox.
Oh,
because they
came full circle there.
They remembered. Oh, wait.
But you guys were cool with doing it with Fox at that point?
Totally. Yeah.
You didn't care. You weren't.
No, it was fun. Anybody that was going to make the movie, and if you haven't seen the Reno 911 movie, I'm really proud of it. Most people have not seen it. Yeah.
Well, people know the show so much.
Early appearance by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Really?
Yep.
What role did he play in the movie?
He plays, I don't want to spoil it, but in a time of crisis, he shows up as a super, like, SWAT badass.
It's a good guy to have show up.
Something happens. You'll see.
Well, you've worked with so many different people at this point. I mean, that's an early Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You have Night at the Museum, Stiller, Robin Williams. I mean, what's it been like for you working with so many different talented people?
You know what I've mostly found, Speaking of Robin Williams, is probably one of the sweetest human beings you would ever have met. He was just a joy to be around all the time. But what I've found is the longer you stick around in show business, the people you start to meet tend to get nicer and nicer.
That's a good thing.
I know, it's a really weird thing, but like the notion of like divas and temper tantrums, that's like the middle. But once you get to like the Tom Cruises of the world, he's a delight if you ever met him. Yeah.
So it's really those people along the way.
Watch out for the middle.
The middle people.
The middle part of show business is icky.
Top of the charts is great.
Is a delight.
People on the bottom are on the rise.
Bottom is probably going to be the people on the top at some point, but just the middle is scary.
Is it like the people who are angry in the middle that didn't get to the top, or the people that are still on the climb?
Maybe.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Yeah, that's the other thing about show business. There aren't that many people in it.
Right, and
so
you know
so nice.
You have to have these relationships.
Be real nice.
Yeah, I mean, you have 31-year-old relationships. You have people that you're just meeting for the first time. You got to make sure they're solid
just
relationships.
Musical chairs where you keep running into the same people over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, think about you with Matthew Perry. I mean, going back to your time on Friends for a couple episodes.
I was Joey's hand twin.
That's right.
Weirdly, people yell that out to me for some reason.
How do you audition for that role?
You know what? I actually, here's not to brag, because Joey's hand twin, I only had like 4 lines.
Right.
But that was a straight offer.
Oh, really?
So thank you very much. I was just offered the role of Joey's
You could say
twin.
I was offered straight up for Friends.
And the weird thing is my hands don't even look that much like LeBlanc's.
But you guys faked it enough to that point.
We faked it, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and still, that was what, late 90s, early 2000s?
That would be like 99.
And people are still talking
Joey's
about
hand
that.
twin.
That's crazy. You've had some really iconic roles that people still talk about. Like, I Love You Man was 10 years ago.
I Love You Man 10 years ago?
Yeah, 09,
wow.
right?
I guess it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get a lot of people saying to me, "You're a whore, Peter." I get a lot of that. Paul Rudd and I were nominated for an MTV Best Kiss Award.
Oh,
that
yeah,
year.
that's right.
We unfortunately lost to Twilight. Which
Yeah, tough competition.
It's a tough one. Yeah, especially for that voting crowd, you're going to lose to
Very
Twilight.
true. Teenage crowd, yeah. They're like, these two guys, like, I don't know.
Sparkly vampires. Yeah, we were robbed.
So that movie was super funny. Did it hit right away, or did it take a little longer?
I Love You Man?
Yeah.
I Love You Man, I feel like hit right away. That's a John Hamburg movie. John Hamburg, who's a very dear friend of mine, he has done all the Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers.
Great movies, yeah.
Well, he's just one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. And actually, we went to theater camp together too. Yeah, he was in the film camp part.
So this is like what, middle school at this point?
We've
High
known
school?
each other since we were about 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, just amazing how these relationships have spanned all these
If
years.
you can keep it together,
Yeah.
not
break them up.
Not break them up by saying things that you regret forever.
Yeah.
Sending mean texts.
That wouldn't be good.
You gotta
No,
be so
definitely don't
careful.
send a mean text.
Always think about the text before you send it.
That's a good approach.
In case you might end the friendship forever.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I've mentioned a couple roles that you've done, but what sticks out to you amongst all the ones that you've done?
Obviously, I mean, I'll never escape the shadow of Lieutenant Dangle, which is a big role. And I had no real agenda for that character other than I knew I was going to be in shorts, I knew I was going to have a mustache. And I was originally trying to do sort of like an Al Gore voice.
Oh, really?
That's what's sort of the intention. Al Gore was, of course, a big thing that we talked about every day at the time that we were starting that. So I was kind of trying to do like a sort of an Al Gore kind of thing, but I never nailed it.
Pseudo Al Gore.
Yeah. Sheriff's Department. So it kind of just ended up being, But it's the one role that there's still the Halloween costume of,
Right.
Yeah,
that's when you've really made it in culture.
It
People are
sells
still
pretty
dressing
well.
up. Yeah.
It's a popular costume.
So when did you guys realize this was going to be a big thing with Reno?
I don't think we did it first. Often you don't notice what something is as it's happening,
Takes a couple
In fact,
years.
I think actually people like Reno 911 substantially more now than when it was on. It was a hit when it was on.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think absence makes the heart grow fonder a little bit, and it got taken away like too soon. It probably could have. We've talked to everybody about at some point doing something again together, whether it's a movie or
Everything's
another series.
coming back at this point.
Everything's rebooted. But, it's weirdly more popular now than it was when we did it. But it was liked at the time. Yeah, it was definitely liked at the time.
Yeah, it was something you're scrolling through the channels and you stop on Comedy Central. You're watching.
It's spawned a lot of memes. There's a lot of good
memes.
There's a lot of meme of me like doing new boot goofing. There's like me jumping in my ostrich boots and stuff. So yeah.
Well, I think it's cool that you have that role, and then you've done the serious stuff. You're in Christopher Nolan movie. Like you've done a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I was so excited. The reason I'm in The Dark Knight Rises is I'm also the doctor in Memento.
That's right.
So it's
you're Nolan's doctor.
It's an inside joke. It was just supposed to be like a hilarious joke, like, oh, this is Sammy's doctor from Memento, is also Batman's doctor.
And you happen to be in
Bruce Wayne's doctor.
A huge movie like that.
So that was fun because also, so I got the script for Dark Knight Rises was fun because I only have like a paragraph that I get to say, but I got only that page of the script on red paper, and everything that wasn't literally what I say was redacted with a black marker. It was
so
like
they didn't want you to know anything.
CIA document. It was delivered to my house by someone from Nolan's office.
Wow.
Was like they pulled out a thing and they're like, here's a piece of paper of what you're going to say in several months.
I would guess that's the only time something like that's happened.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that paper you can't copy it. It's like a color that won't copy. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just that piece of paper.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I
going
still
anywhere
have it.
else.
It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else have you kept along the way from your
I
projects?
haven't kept very much. I mean, I have 3 pairs of the dangle shorts.
Okay.
If I need them.
Just in case for a rainy
case of
day.
emergency.
Yeah, sure. Running low on boxers. You
I have
never
the
know.
call sheet from Dark Knight Rises, which was cool.
That's cool.
It's got some cool names on it. I've got a couple state things. I got a porcupine costume of the porcupine racetrack outfit.
That's cool.
I've got nothing from I Love You Man.
Okay. Night at the
I don't
Museum?
have that much Reno stuff. I don't really have anything from Reno. I have a ticket to the premiere of Night at the
Okay,
Museum.
that's cool.
That's all I really have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept all those props because they kept making the movies.
Right. Well, that makes
They
sense.
might still make more of them. At some
They
point. I don't know.
certainly could, and that's the other cool thing is that you create something, whether it's a book or movie, with multiple iterations. Like that's
Yeah.
the best thing in the world. Keep
I would love to
cashing
see a
it.
new Night at the Museum movie.
'Cause how many have there been now?
Also, Rami Malek is like the central character in most of those films.
Right.
And he's now a mega superstar.
Yeah, so I mean that must be pretty cool for you to see him blow up like this.
That was
right?
really neat.
Yeah. Because how old was he when you first started working on your projects?
You know, I'm not sure. He was pretty young. He'd done some stuff.
Right.
But I think he, as Akhman-Ra, the pharaoh, was a big early
Important part for him.
important role.
Yeah. So when you think about film and TV today, I mean, people are just banging out content left and right. What do you make of the industry right now?
You know, TV-wise, and of course streaming TV-wise, both, I think, almost like a golden age. There's some amazing things happening TV-wise right now.
What are you liking right now?
Right now, I've been a little bit obsessed with, and it's unfair because I'm an actor, you know, first and foremost, but Barry on HBO is just crushing it. Have you watched it?
I have not watched it yet. I know season 2's starting. I got to get in.
Started, but yeah, get through all of season
I
1.
love Bill Hader, so I'm in for that. Henry Winkler, I'm in. Yeah.
It's crushing it.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I'll take your recommendation for it.
That's my probably number 1 right now.
I mean, if season 3 comes along, you got to pop on there. Come on.
Right?
Yeah, come on.
Weird actor type.
It's got to be a role for you.
Hollywood douchebag.
Well, Thomas, where can people check out your book?
Oh, so my book, Ronan Boyle and the Bridge of Riddles, is everywhere in the world. And it's got nice reviews. The Wall Street Journal called it extremely funny, or something like that, which was nice. Awesome. It's everywhere.
Wherever books are sold.
Yes, but there is the Barnes & Noble edition is kind of cool because it's got, in the back, it's got the whole trainee's manual.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's got like an extra section if you get it at Barnes & Noble. It's got this whole, like a whole other part to it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway,
cool.
I'm really proud of it. I hope, if you like funny things, you will certainly like it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Thomas, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time here on The
Thanks.
Sit Down.